Hello, it is October the 8th, 2015, and I have had my chest surgery with Mr. Yelland in Brighton. Haven't had any updates along the way, so I'm going to give you all the information in one go. Okay, so my pre-op was 1 week before my actual surgery. I was hoping to have the keyhole procedure, but after seeing my chest, Mr. Yelland had no hesitation in saying, no, you need the double incision. So I had a week to get my head around it, which I'd already started thinking perhaps I was bigger than I'd thought. And the photographs that my partner took the night before my operation really hit home. Oh yeah, okay. So we travelled to Brighton and stayed in the Newmarket Inn on the A27. It was quite good to have a bit of time to chill before the op. I started getting a little bit sentimental about, oh, this is my body, it's going to be changing irreversibly. Is this the right thing? And then, as I said, my partner took some photographs and I saw them and thought, oh, I'm very ready for this now. We arrived at Nuffield Hospital about 7 o'clock. I think we were due there about 7:15. They are very professional, very smart. I cannot fault the hotel at all. Got asked whether we'd like a complimentary newspaper the following morning. Got taken up to the room. I thought I was going to be room 13, but they've missed out room 13. It goes 12 and 14, so I was in room 14. Lovely, lovely views over the hills and out to sea. Nothing in the way, so uninterrupted views. And almost immediately we had a nurse come round just to check information, had someone come round to ask about meals and what I'd like. The anaesthetist came round and I got told I was going to be the first person to be operated on that day. So Mr. Yelland came round, drew a few funny pictures on me, and then I was put into a gown, got the stockings, and was wheeled down to theatre. So just before you enter the theatre, that's when you get your anaesthetic. I had one of those things in my hand. The anaesthetist said that you'll feel it cold coming up your arm, which I did. So I felt it come up and just coming up my neck. And I remember saying, oh, I can feel myself going. And the next thing I knew, I was awake in recovery. So I went down at about 9:15 and I was back in my room by 10:30. Immediately after the surgery, I thought I'd get some sleep, but my blood pressure had other ideas, and unless I kept my hands and feet moving, the blood pressure alarm would go off because my blood pressure had dropped, but apparently it's quite common after anaesthetic. So rather than resting, I stayed awake, and I pretty much stayed awake till about 1 that morning. I don't have a television at home, and there was one in my room, and it's amazing what rubbish you can watch. So right, immediately after the operation, when you come to, obviously you've got your sticky bandages on, and that's what stays on until your post-op appointment, but they also bind you, and this is the binder from the hospital. The worst pain I had was when this rode up under my armpits and dug in on this side. The nurse had to pull it down for me. Otherwise my pain was minimal. I didn't have to have anything stronger than a paracetamol, although they would have prescribed morphine had I needed it. So the sticky bandages and the binder, I found that when I was trying to stand up I was a bit hunched over, but I was able to get up, go to the toilet. It's amazing how much arm movement you can have, but obviously overreaching anything and anything too heavy is a definite no-no. So the following morning I was discharged by about 10:30, but before I went they gave me physio exercises. I think there's 6 exercises on there to do all six times a day. I did that for, well, up until the post-op appointment. They don't take long, it's just making sure you do it really. And also I bought myself a binder, and this is the binder I wore home. It's from Sports Direct. I think it was about £6-7. It's a lumbar support, so it's a back support. You can get that quite tight. It's worth practicing with someone first, as we did. These extra straps at the front here I found was very good to actually go under like your pec line and give you an extra sort of support there and extra compression, and that stayed on. I actually bought 2 of these. I never wore the hospital one again, but I bought 2 of these black ones, and when one was in the wash obviously I had another one. Very good. Probably too good actually, because I've got a bit of a sore patch, but I'll come on to that. So yeah, once I got home, obviously I didn't do an awful lot, and sleep was, we sat around all the time. I did, I went out for walks and that sort of thing, but nothing too strenuous. But I don't usually lay on my back, so by night time you feel like you've been sat around, or you're just not worn out. And I was waking up every morning about 2 o'clock and having to go into the living room because I was disturbing Jan. I've read so many books and I love doing all that, but there is a limit. So it was just uncomfortable and a bit boring. By the time the post-op appointment arrived, which was 10 days after the actual surgery, I had a lot more movement and I was beginning to sleep better, but only by about 1 or 2 nights. So it's, you might do better than me, but be prepared for a bit of a rough time when it comes to sleep. So at the post-op appointment, back down to Brighton to see Mr. Yellens. He removes the binder, and it is so lovely to have that, to have that thing off, although you do feel incredibly vulnerable. There's nothing there to protect you. They take the sticky bandages off, and then you get to see your chest for the first time. And Janet listened better than I had, because around your nipples are a load of staples and they have to be removed. So Mr. Yellen does that at the post-op appointment. It's no worse than having an injection. If you don't like injections, oops. I just didn't look, which was easier. It wasn't particularly painful, as I said, but it was easier not to look. So he removed those with just a little tool, and it was very quick. Then they put other dressing on just for me to go home in, advised me to wear the binder on the way home, which I did. Then I was allowed to take it off again, but he did say for car journeys and anywhere you think you're going to get knocked by other people, it's best to wear it. I did go down to our town and had it on, I think a couple of days after the post-op appointment, and I ended up having to take the binder off because it was hot and sweaty. It didn't feel like it was sitting right anymore, and no, and I haven't worn it since. So yeah, so first look at my chest, and one of the biggest things I noticed, having a flat chest is wonderful, but it makes your belly look bigger. Whereas before you had something come out and then your belly always looked thinner, now there's nothing there and your belly just goes out. And apparently that's one of the things we just have to put up with, according to Mr. Yelland. So I will now show you my results. So this is about 2.5 weeks after my operation. As I mentioned earlier, I do have a bit of a sore patch, which is why I've got a bandage on my right side. So at the post-op appointment you get given 2 of these, which are like a strong alcohol wipe. They're so good, I only need to do one to just clear off where the sticky bandages have been. I've kept that just in case because I've got others. And some tape, which I haven't got on at the moment because I was doing this video, which goes along your scar lines. Now, after your post-op appointment, you are allowed to shower and let the water trickle over your front. I had a shower and felt quite a lot of pain down this side. And when Jan and I investigated further, we realised I've got 4 little patches. They are only small, but they are weeping like a burst blister would. I put gauze on them to try and protect it from my clothes and being rubbed anymore, and it just stuck to the gauze, and when I took the gauze off, of course, then it started everything having to heal again. So luckily I've got some friends that are able to get me some good dressing, and they put that on for me, and I'm just hoping it's a breathable dressing, so it should all be healing under there. So otherwise, as you can see, the nipples are very scabbed over at the moment. They are beginning to lift a little bit. The scars are coming on quite nicely. They're looking close to being waterproof, as in sealed, so I could have a soak in the bath, but I wouldn't do that yet because I've still got scabs on my nipples. I've got a slight gathered area here at the front. It was like that when it was first bandages were first taken off. Hopefully that will settle down. And as I've noticed, it's October, a little bit chilly at times, and when I get cold I can feel it tingling through my chest, and then I get a lot of pain in my nipples, and I think it's where the nipples are trying to contract because they're cold. So that's interesting. I've started wearing a body warmer just to keep my core warm, so that doesn't happen as much. It's just uncomfortable more than anything else. And also I'm noticing that I'm waking up during the night and I'm really tensing my arms, and it's good I can tense. I'm quite pleased I got the line. The working out beforehand did pay off after all. Not allowed to work out for 6 weeks. I'm not driving at the moment, and I have been signed off work. Overreaching, you do notice when you do it. I'm still wearing clothes that obviously open at the front. I'm not wearing t-shirts that go over my head. And it's just every day it gets a little bit better. I'm really, really pleased with it. I can't wait to be able to have a proper soak in the bath. And just hope this area on my right hand side will clear up. So all good. Highly recommend Mr. Yellen. Really pleased with the results. And yeah, any questions please ask, any comments please leave them below. Take care.